I got into motor racing in the first place because my father had raced. He said, don't be ridiculous, it's really expensive. But he did say, I'll give you a year to prove you make a living at it. When you're 17, 18 years old, the idea of doing something that's pretty dangerous is exciting. You know, it's only when you get older and you realize perhaps it wasn't such a good idea. You're pushing it as hard as is possible. And you know, you go into a corner, coming to 130, 140 mile an hour corner, and if everything's all right, you get away with it. I think probably my best race was the Mille Miglia, which was 1,000 miles around Italy, and where the roads aren't closed, but people keep off them. And I managed to average, 98.97 miles an hour, I think, and which included 3 mountain passes. I can't think of anything else that's as thrilling, frankly. You know, you get in the car, and the exhilaration of driving it is on its own is great. But when you've got other drivers alongside you, and you're trying to outsmart them and outcorner them, it's something that you can't. It's very, very difficult to replace. I have a fairly impressive track record for crashes as well. 1962 was actually when I had my last crash. And that forced me, I mean, I was then, 32 years old, and suddenly my life finished because I couldn't race anymore. And I was unconscious for a month and paralyzed for 6 months. And so it was just not a viable proposition to go back to racing. So I had to work for a living, and then it nearly killed me. I mean, what do you do? Because I had no experience of anything other than racing. During my career, I expected problems because obviously I'm racing and that sort of thing. But in my own home, to open the door and finish up 30 feet down is something that's quite a shock. It was just an ordinary day, and I was upstairs. I was just about 80. And I opened the lift door, which of course shouldn't have happened. Steps straight forward to go through, obviously, into the lift, which I assumed was there, and of course it went down a couple of floors. I broke both my feet, broken up quite badly, and I had a bit of something with my shoulder, so I obviously hit the side of the lift shaft, I presume. I tell you, it's amazing how fast they arrived. I mean, it really was very, very remarkable to me, and they carried me out on a stretcher. I feel an awful lot towards them because I've borrowed their services, if you like, and they're second to none. And you know, it's nice to know that as a backup, you've got one of the greatest services in the world, actually. The one thing that to me is amazing is that London's air ambulance are not funded. It's a charity, and it's really disgraceful because of the service they offer and the speed and everything they get round. I think it's absolutely terrible. Certainly I intend to remember London Air Ambulances in my will, and I hope other people will as well, because it's something that it's just a wonderful backup to have, living here and having that behind you.